Designing a trust for you, safeguarding your assets with access protection. Your assets deserve VIP treatment too. Oh, the joy of owning shiny, valuable assets. You know what they say, if you treat your assets like royalty, they'll treat you like royalty too. But let's quit the small talk and dive into why asset protection is as important as daily exercise. Hey, we didn't say it was as fun. Now, when it comes to trusts, it's like eating spaghetti with a spoon, messy and confusing. But fear not, we're going to guide you through this legal jungle. Trusts can be thought of as guarded fortresses for your treasures, and they come in many flavors. To make things easier and keep you sane, we're going to break down those complex, eardrum-shattering legal terms you so passionately dislike. You'll find that they're not as terrifying as they sound, we promise. So strap yourself in, and let's embark on a trust-tastic journey that'll leave your treasured possessions safer than the Queen's royal dachshund. Oh, and just a friendly reminder, you'll need a pen and paper too. You can't trust your memory with all this lawish jargon coming up. Stay tuned, treasures. Soon, you'll be designing your own trust like a pro. My trust, your trust. Let's cut through the differences. All right, let's swing open the door to Trustland and yank off the cloak of confusion, shall we? In the neon-rimmed boxing ring, we have the hulks of the trust world going toe-to-toe, living trusts and testamentary trusts. But whoa, hold up your pitchforks. This isn't a duel. It's all about the harmony, baby. Living trusts, like that charming, spontaneous friend, are active during your lifetime. On the other side, testamentary trusts, the steadfast, planner sort, spring into action after you go to the big party in the sky. Speaking of parties, let's jump to a shindig where everyone's confused about mingling, the revocable and irrevocable trust soiree. Friends or foes, you ask? More like frenemies. Revocable trusts are like the gushy friends who can't make up their mind. You can change them anytime. Contrastingly, the commitment kings, irrevocable trusts, are set in stone once created. Irony at its finest? The parade of trusts doesn't end there. Like ice cream flavors at Baskin-Robbins, there's plenty to choose from, each tickling a different taste bud. Family trusts, charitable trusts, special needs trusts. You get the picture. They're like different symphonies playing in a giant trust orchestra. One size doesn't fit all, and thank goodness, because Bob's heirloom watch collection and Carol's art offering need different kinds of protections. There's no trust without trust, ILY. Now pass me my chamomile tea while you get on with the trust formation adventure. Don't worry, your assets are going to love their new plush seats in the trust front rows. Remember, a trust is like dating. You've got to know what you want, who you're dealing with, and what you're signing up for, figuratively, and well, literally. Sound like your Jedi Council, choosing your trustee. Ah, the trustee, the linchpin of your trust. Like picking a babysitter for your pet goldfish, you want someone who'll do right by Mr. Gills. Is that your favorite Auntie Pearl? Or maybe Uncle Scrooge, who's understandably stingy with assets but eats like a hobbit at the Thanksgiving dinner? Whoever it is, they need to be responsible, fair, and not accidentally leave the keep of your assets to a dog named Fluffy. A trustee is essentially the Gandalf of your assets, guiding them through the ring of fire that can be your complicated family dynamics. And just like raids, divorces, loans, and other nasty trolls, they'll shield your trust from them all. Hey, but why not take it up a notch, you might ask? Might as well get a dark night dealing with dark arts? Enter banks and financial institutions. Batman might not be available, but these institutions are just as good, minus the cool suit and gruff voice. Not to mention, their emotional investment in your family drama registers at a big fat 0, which makes them pretty good at this job. Still, family members, friends, and professional trustees each bring something unique to the trust table. Maybe your family knows more about your affairs than anyone else. On the other hand, your best friends have no qualms about arguing with you over the last slice of pizza. They might argue better for your trust. Lastly, professional trustees, while expensive, are like buying your coffee from Starbucks, costly but rarely bitter. So what's it gonna be? Auntie Pearl and her specialty cupcakes? Uncle Scrooge with his infamous penny-pinching tactics? The Batman SK Bank down the lane? Or your friend who loves annoying your ex just as much as you? A thrilling match indeed, but remember, the winning trifecta would understand your trust as well as the way to your secret candy stash. Who could ask for more? Dear Trust, meet my assets, funding your trust. Well, hello there, trust fund tycoon in the making. Now that you've brushed up on your trust lingo and assembled your Jedi Council, aka trustee, it's time to make it rain assets into your trust. But first, let's dive into the world of title deeds, legal documents, and the red tape race. Buckle up, Buttercup, because it's about to get real. You know what's as exciting as filing taxes, title deeds, and legal documents? Said no one ever. But hey, you can't build a trust empire without doing a little paperwork. So let's dive in. To start funding your trust, you'll need to transfer your fancy properties, stocks, cash, and other assets into the trust's name. For physical assets like real estate, this might require getting your hands on the original title deeds and working with a series of professionals like lawyers and title companies to get all your T's crossed and I's dotted. And we thought trust paperwork was the fun part. Now that you're a pro at transferring assets into your trust, we bet you're asking yourself, is there anything off limits that I can't move into my kingdom of trust? The answer, not really. From houses to handbags, real estate, bank accounts, stocks, and even that collection of 90s Beanie Babies taking up half your closet, we're not judging. Almost anything of value can be transferred into your trust. Just beware that there might be some tax implications, and Auntie Pearl might roll her eyes when your trust ends up with more designer bags than a Kardashian. But hey, it's your trust. Flaunt it how you want. Before we let you loose like a trust funding tornado, let's recap with a quick asset funding checklist to make sure you're on the right track to trust fund superstardom. 1. Identify all your assets, both tangible and intangible, and yes, those Beanie Babies count. 2. Consult with your attorney and Jedi Council, trustee, to make sure you don't miss a single detail in transferring your assets. 3. Get ready to face some red tape and paperwork gymnastics. It's a necessary evil. 4. Keep an eye out for tax implications when moving assets into your trust. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was the perfect trust. You might encounter a few bureaucratic hiccups along the way, but just keep your eye on the prize, your very own trust fund empire, complete with a designer handbag collection of which even Auntie Pearl will approve. And remember, once you've conquered this, what's stopping you from literally ruling the world? Well, maybe a few laws here and there, but hey, dream big. Oh, beneficiaries, here's what to expect. Oh, so you finally decided to set up a trust, huh? Bet you can already hear the sighs of relief from your potential beneficiaries. But before they can go on a shopping spree with their newfound fortune, there are a few hoops to jump through. So settle down, dear beneficiaries, as we go through what to expect when the grantor starts splurging love and wealth through a trust. We all know the phrase, good things come to those who wait. Well, in the case of trust distribution, that saying might as well have an express lane. You see, every trust has its timeline for asset distribution, and as the all-worthy beneficiary, it's crucial you understand how long you might be waiting for the dough to roll in. Trust funds aren't like instant noodles after all. They take their sweet time. So, while you wait, it wouldn't hurt to brush up on trust timelines to avoid any unpleasant surprises down the road. Now remember those first day of school jitters? Well, get ready for a flashback because you're about to experience an orientation day of sorts. That's right, it's time to meet your trustees, the folks who'll be overseeing your trust fund journey. In this meeting, make sure you grill these guys and gals with questions, ask about the terms of the trust, and all the other juicy details you're dying to know. Don't fret if the conversation starts verging on uncomfortable. Remember, those assets have your name on them. Here's a secret. You don't have to be a world-class detective to get the most out of your trust meetings. Nope, just ask the right questions, and those trustees will spill the beans in no time. Wondering how the trust works? Ask about the process for requesting a distribution. Curious about what you can do with those assets? There's no harm in double-checking the rules. Use these golden opportunities to gather as much intel as possible. After all, you're looking to make the most from the trust. Oh, did we mention that asking questions is highly recommended? Because, communication. So there you have it, folks. Your quick and dirty guide to navigating the tumultuous seas of trust beneficiary life. So buckle up, enjoy the ride, and try to remain patient while you wait for sweet, sweet asset distribution. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is the world of trusts. The wizarding world of online trust creation. Ah, the digital age, where we can set up a trust without leaving the comfort of our pajamas and our strategic butt groove in the couch. Enter Trustception, creating a trust within the digital realm. With a swipe and a tap, you can now set up a trust online through a digital estate planning service. And no, you don't have to be a millennial to embrace this convenient option. But do make sure you change your pajamas occasionally. Just a friendly tip. Now, on to notarizing that precious agreement. In the magical world of technology, even notarization has gone paperless, so you won't accidentally spill your latte on it. Fingers crossed. Most states still require you to have the trust document notarized, though, especially if you want to prevent that lawyer cousin of yours from claiming it's a fraud. Step back, Cousin Vinny. Digital guardians of the trust galaxy, assemble. Traditional brick-and-mortar banks are so last century, don't you think? This is where the true superheroes of the online trust world, aka digital banks and financial institutions, come in. With their trust services offered online, you no longer need to participate in the dreaded waiting room small talk. Hallelujah. Digital trust advantages aren't just for millennials, as we mentioned earlier. We know the digital world can be a daunting space, but don't let the fear of technology deter you from reaping its benefits. Setting up a trust online has numerous advantages, such as prompt updates, easy access to your account, and the smoothest customer experience possible. We're looking at you, Grandpa. So there you have it, from trust inception to digital notarization, and all the way to online banks and trust services. Making your assets feel important and protected has never been so convenient and, dare we say, fun. Who knew setting up a trust could be this entertaining? Conclusion: a trust is good. A well-designed one is better. After a whirlwind tour through the magical land of trusts, it's time to bring out the trust designer in you. No pressure, folks. Light the soothing candles, put on your focus music, and whip out that planner. It's a game of mastermind, except instead of colored pegs, it's your assets and your future we're dealing with. Recap your steps and revisit your assets. It's just healthy paranoia. And remember, a trust is like homemade pasta. The first batch might not be perfect. It's a flexible recipe. You can always knead and rework it to add a little more al dente to your legacy planning.